Despite the fact that fear is a natural reaction to a threat, many people seek opportunities to experience this fear voluntarily. Books, horror films, scary stories, haunted houses, all evoke emotions usually associated with danger, yet people enjoy such experiences. Why do we, despite fear, gravitate towards scary stories and films? Psychologists highlight several reasons that explain this phenomenon. Controlled feeling of danger. Horror movies and scary stories offer the chance to experience fear in a safe environment. Our brain understands that we are not in real danger, yet it still reacts to frightening situations as if they were actually happening. This creates a unique experience. We get strong emotions but face no real threats. Controlled fear allows us to experiment with the emotion of fear when we know for sure that there will be no real danger after watching the movie or reading the book. This provides a sense of security while simultaneously allowing us to experience adrenaline and stress without having to confront them in real life. Adrenaline and the saturation effect. When we are scared, our body releases adrenaline, a hormone that triggers a physiological stress response. The heart starts beating faster, breathing quickens, and we feel excitement. Once the stressful moment passes, the level of adrenaline decreases, leading to a feeling of relief and satisfaction. This phenomenon is also called the saturation effect, where the experience of fear leads to a strong emotional high. After watching a horror movie or hearing a scary story, we feel not only relief but also pleasant excitement because of the emotional roller coaster we went through. Seeking new experiences. Some people, particularly those prone to seeking new sensations, actively look for situations that provoke strong emotions. These people, known as sensation seekers, get pleasure from intense emotions, such as fear. For such individuals, horror movies are one way to satisfy this need. By experiencing thrills, they feel excitement that is hard to come by in everyday life. Social bonding and shared fear. Fear has an interesting social aspect. Watching scary movies or telling scary stories with friends or family often becomes a collective experience that brings people closer. We experience fear together, laugh after tense moments, and support each other. This phenomenon is explained by the fact that sharing strong emotions strengthens social ties. Shared moments of fear and then relief create a sense of closeness and collective support. Watching a scary movie can also serve as a reason for discussion, further enhancing social integration. Catharsis, emotional cleansing. Experiencing fear through horror can act as a form of catharsis, the release or purification of pent-up emotions. The theory of catharsis originates from ancient Greek philosophy and was popularized by Aristotle. It suggests that dramatic experiences, such as fear or compassion, help relieve emotional tension. Horror movies allow us to safely release accumulated emotions, which can be a useful tool for reducing stress or alleviating anxiety. After tense and scary moments, we may feel relief because these emotions were expressed in a controlled form. Evolutionary reasons, training threat responses. Experiencing fear through horror may be a form of brain training. Feeling fear in a safe environment helps us train our response to threats. Although horror movies don't create real dangers, the brain still goes through a simulation of stressful situations, allowing us to sharpen our reactions. Evolutionarily, we have learned to react quickly to threats, so horror movies offer us an opportunity to train this mechanism in a safe setting. Therefore, watching horror films may serve an adaptive function for our nervous system. Curiosity and the allure of the unknown. The unknown and unexplored always capture human attention. Fear of the unknown, whether supernatural creatures, ghosts, or dark forces, arouses our curiosity. We are intrigued by the exploration of things we do not understand, and horror movies offer a chance to peek into the world of the unknown. This also applies to our hidden fears of death, darkness, and supernatural phenomena. Horror provides an opportunity to explore and confront these fears in a symbolic form, allowing us to delve deeper into the unknown. Psychological defense and exploring personal fears. Horror allows us to safely explore our fears. Horror films and stories often contain elements that symbolize our deep anxieties and worries. By watching or listening to such stories, we can confront our internal fears without facing them in reality. This provides a sort of psychological defense, where we can explore our fears from a safe distance and observe how the characters handle them. This can help us feel a sense of control and understanding of our emotions. Sense of accomplishment and self-validation. Another reason why people are drawn to horror is the sense of achievement after overcoming fear. When we endure scary moments in a movie or story and emerge unscathed, we feel a certain pride in having conquered our fear. This is a form of self-validation. We feel that we can face anxious emotions and control them. For many, this boosts self-esteem and reinforces confidence in their abilities. Psychological aspects of popular horror movies. A Quiet Place, 2018. A Quiet Place uses an interesting technique, silence as a tool for fear. Psychologically, when people are deprived of sound, it creates anxiety. We are used to the noise of everyday life, and its sudden absence activates instincts related to danger. In this film, viewers are in constant tension, knowing that the slightest sound could mean the character's death. This allows the audience to experience fear by focusing on sensory limitations. Final Destination, 2000. In Final Destination, we face the concept of inevitable death. This film uses the psychology of anticipation, where the viewer knows that something horrible is about to happen but doesn't know how or when. This creates a constant sense of anxiety that keeps the audience on edge. The effect of the film is that the viewer cannot predict when exactly the threat will come, heightening the emotions. The Lighthouse, 2019. The Lighthouse explores the theme of isolation and madness. The action takes place at a remote lighthouse where two men slowly lose their minds due to isolation and supernatural events. This is a perfect example of a horror film that delves into the psychological state of the characters. The audience, along with the characters, immerses themselves in the atmosphere of isolation, experiencing a growing sense of despair and fear. The Conjuring, 2013. The Conjuring uses elements of supernatural horror but emphasizes the psychological aspects of fear's impact on a family living in a cursed house. The film is built on the fear of the unknown and the incomprehensible. Viewers are immersed in a sense of constant danger as they watch the characters face ghosts and other paranormal phenomena. This is a classic example of how fear of an unseen threat can induce anxiety and stress. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. This film plays on our deepest fears, losing control over reality. The characters cannot escape the pursuer because they meet him in their dreams when they are most vulnerable. A Nightmare on Elm Street explores the psychology of dreams and the subconscious, posing the question, can we control our fears when reality and dreams mix? The film touches on basic human fears, the lack of safety even when we think we are in the most protected state. Conclusion. Horror films and stories attract us due to a combination of several psychological factors: the ability to safely experience fear, physiological arousal from adrenaline, social connections, catharsis, and curiosity about the unknown. Experiencing fear in a controlled environment helps us explore these emotions without real danger. This unique combination of fear, excitement, and relief keeps us coming back for more, helping us better understand and control our fears. What is your favorite horror film?